Okay. Hi. Um, I'm going to be giving my official opinion or review, I guess, if you want to make it more official, on John Green's Fault in Our Stars. Okay. So I finished. It was a really quick read. I finished this in like two reading sessions yesterday and today. Like I just finished reading it like 10 minutes ago, and or like an hour, she gosh. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I just before I made this video, I gave myself time to collect my thoughts and how I felt about this book. Okay, so before I started reading this book, I heard a lot about it. I heard like it was really good, and I don't know, that it was sad, and gave people like emotions, or like made people cry, I should say. But yeah, so I heard very good things about this book, and I was okay. Before I even go into all that, overall, I do like the book, but it didn't live up to his expectations. Um, like the story was very good. I loved the story. Like I loved the writing. I love John Green's style of writing. It's my first time ever reading one of his books, and I don't know. Like the story was what I thought it would be, just about there's Maslow's hierarchy of needs, but it was everything that I thought it would be about when I heard that it was about cancer patients. So I was like, my mom's gonna die. It's gonna be about like how they have limited time in life left and in the world, and they're gonna be all deep. And I was expecting that, but the thing is, like the plot itself was it was easy to follow, not too complicated, kind of simple-ish, which was good. But and then I guess he sort of made up for it with like all this like deep, thought-provoking, things that that you would well, it's not stuff you would typically think about, but it's stuff that anybody can relate to. Really, it's like it's a deep, and it's just it can be generally relatable to anybody, whether they have cancer or not, basically. Alright, so I don't know. A lot of people read this and they told me they would start crying and that it was the saddest thing ever. I was completely taken into cry, so whenever I did read this, I would make sure that I was alone, or like I would be in a closed room, just in case anything were to happen. And while I was reading it, I mean, there were some really sad parts, but I could not cry at it because the whole time I was just kind of thinking, wow, these 16, 17-year-old cancer patient, teenagers, they sound awfully intelligent for their age. I mean, that's probably how their character's supposed to be. Cool, that's fine with me. But then I just kept imagining like a 40-year-old philosophical, intelligent man just caught in a 16, 17-year-old teenager's body. And that sort of distracted me from the book because it was almost unrealistic. Like, I'm not saying that there aren't incredibly intelligent teenagers out there, but to the average teenager like myself, it's just kind of some people. It was just kind of unrealistic. I couldn't relate to it, but everything it would be fine. It would have been perfect if teenagers weren't the main characters. I don't know, because he captured the essence of how it's like to be living with cancer. He captured that essence of like he like just life in general, and just like all the complicated shit that like the philosophical shit and everything. He captured that very well. But the fact that he's speaking from a teenager's point of view, where he was supposed to, it just did not click with me, and I just couldn't even get emotionally attached to it. Mentally, it was very thought-provoking, and it made me think a lot, but it was just kind of like, the whole time I was kind of thinking, wow, John Green is very intelligent to have like been writing all of this. And it's like, I kind of felt like it was almost like a funny picture. It kind of felt like it was almost like this was sort of his mental dump for all the existential and like thought-provoking observations he has made about life so far. It was just every page was very well written, very intelligent, very witty and quick, but it was a little too much, I should say. And speaking of wits and wittiness and whatever, all the characters are very, 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 very. I mean, the main characters are very deep, and they're very quick with their thinking, very quick with their talking, and they're very witty. I like that, I really do, and it's all dark humor and all that good stuff that I would typically like, but there's just too much of it. It was just so, it's like it was scripted, so perfectly orchestrated, and it wasn't imperfect enough. I think that's all I can really say about this. It wasn't imperfect enough. Because these two cancer patients, teenagers, they're unbelievably intelligent for their age. They're witty and creative and quick and, just like, they're great, but they didn't have much folly. Like, sure, you could argue, like, Augustus was selfishness thinking, I guess, narcissistic, whatever. But, and then, I don't know, Hazel was just, I don't know what you could say about Hazel. She was just cynical and crap, and, like, yeah, but those aren't, like, I wouldn't say they're imperfections. They're more of just characteristics, and even more imperfections in this book. It was so well written that it was not as good as that it could have been. That's basically it. I did enjoy the book though. If I had to give it a rating out of like 5, give it like a solid 4. Maybe 3.5, but no, 4. Because if I make that into the 100%, if I make that into a percentage, it'd be an 80%. I do give it like an 85% maybe. Yeah, it was good. Definitely not what I was expecting it to be though. I'm a very emotional person, and the fact that I didn't cry at this book, and I just kept thinking, wow, I just kept thinking about like how John Green must have felt when he wrote this, or what he was thinking when he must have wrote this. I mean, it just kept making me wonder and sort of distract me from getting attached to it emotionally, which is surprising to me that I couldn't get attached emotionally, because usually with these books and these characters, I get so attached. But I don't know. Something about how I've just been reading like more of the American classics that were written years like longer ago than this, like early 1900s, late 1800s. I've just been reading those books, and I don't know, I find those much better. I don't know why. I just do. Maybe it's just because this. I don't know. I really don't know. I don't want to be the type of person that's all like pretentious and snooty and just kind of like, yeah, I only read classic American literature. Don't give me this 21st century bullshit. But it's not bullshit. Like I do like this book, but for some reason it just, I don't know. And the fact that this book gets higher ratings than like some of the older books that I personally enjoy more. I don't know. Maybe I'm missing some. Maybe I'm like not getting something from this that everybody else is getting. Maybe I overthought this before I actually started reading it. I don't know. Anyway, 4 out of 5, 4.25 out of 5, I guess. So that makes it 85. Yeah. Yeah, that's an 85. Okay. 4.25 out of 5. 85%. You did good. You passed. Anyways, yeah. So that's it. Now I have to read this by the end of break, just so I can make intelligent decisions on them. And I'm just saying, I'm very excited for Cat's Cradle. Is that upside down? I can't tell from the webcam, but I'm excited for this, and yeah, okay, bye.